Hey guys, Happy Camper here, and I'm back today, of course, in Bella Coola. We're on a mission today. We've got an injured guy up at the camp that we visited in the last video, dropping off the medical supplies, and he's gonna have to go back down to the hospital. So that's our job today. Get inside the helicopter. I've got the helicopter all fired up, and we're pretty much ready to go. Flick the audio low RPM warning on, and then we'll head out of here. Now today we're flying the Bell 412. This is a Bell 412 by X-Trident helicopter I've recently bought, and it is absolutely amazing. There's so many features on this that you can do, which are really awesome. So today we've got that search and rescue set up. Now we know where he is, so we aren't going to search for him. We're just going to head up and rescue him. So this helicopter has a lot of really cool features. It's got an autopilot. It's also a lot bigger than any of the other helicopters I've flown on this channel. It's got two engines, so you're fairly safe from an engine failure, because even if one engine fails, you've still got the second one to keep the helicopter flying. And it's just a really awesome helicopter. So so it's got a bunch of plugins where you can do firefighting. When you have the firefighting, what's called livery loaded, you can throw down a hose, and then you can pick up water from any river, any water source in X-Plane. And when you picked up the water, you can drop it out the helicopter, and it's really awesome. It also it fights the fires that X-Plane creates normally. So X-Plane has this feature where it creates fires, forest fires mainly. And if you drop this water off of this helicopter on it, it will extinguish the fire. So that's really cool. I'll probably do a video on that, because I haven't seen anything like that in X-Plane yet. It's got the search and rescue plugin where you can pop down a patient anywhere. You can do it randomly, you can do it by GPS latitude and longitude, and you can even do it in water. And when you do it in water, you can open the doors and hoist them up. If they're in between some trees, you can hoist them up with a hoist. And to keep a stable hover, you can use the autopilot. So it has a load of really, really cool features that I'll make sure to show to you guys. It's also got external sling loading, which works pretty well. So I'm probably going to do something on that as well, because you can do logging operations and so on. Now today we're of course in the Canadian search and rescue livery, and with that we should be able to bring this guy right down to the hospital with no problems. So there he should be in the small camp, and I see our saver. Don't see the patient just yet, so we'll get a bit closer here. We're going to come in the same way that we came in when we did this mission in the Schweitzer. Turn it around, and this helipad is of course not very big. We should fit on it, and it shouldn't break, but we are a lot bigger than when we landed here in the Schweitzer, but we also have a lot more power, so there isn't any chance of us getting any low RPMs because of the altitude. We're only at 3,600, and this helicopter can handle way higher heights than that. Just coming in, slowing it down, coming in over these trees, making sure we don't hit them. Space does look a lot smaller when we're in the Bell 412 though. And it's just looking alright though. This helicopter flies really nicely, flies like an absolute dream. It has a lot of articulation, a lot of hydraulics, and many means to help the helicopter and the pilot. Oh, that was a ground effect kicking in then. Interesting. Ground effect very noticeable on this helicopter. And we're down. Alright, so let's get the doors open, and let's get the patient loaded in. Alright, so we've got the patient on board now, so let's get the doors closed. And let's bring this guy down to the hospital. Doors are coming closed now. Patient's good, he's strapped in. Got the people, the crew taking care of him. Let's get going out of here. Rest on our back skids. Get out of here. Loads of power to play with in this helicopter. So we don't have to worry too much about which way we come in and out. And now we've just got a long descent ahead of us down into the hospital. So, a bit about this helicopter. Of course, it's based on the American UH-1 Huey, and it's now made by Bell, designated the Bell 412. It's got two engines, a lot bigger than any other helicopter that I've flown, as I said. It can fly at really high altitudes, and it's got loads of power. It's got 4 main rotor blades, a fully functioning autopilot, as I told you, and it's got a GPS down here on the left, and then it's got an integrated map over here on the co-pilot side that the co-pilot can look at, where it's also got the FLIR camera, and it's got some other pretty cool features in there. This is kind of an old-style cockpit. It's got a lot of gauges and a lot of buttons and switches. Not really much of it is automated. So if you're into to learning a lot about procedures and flicking a whole lot of switches and knobs, this is a great helicopter to get into. It flies, as I said, really well because it has a lot of the articulation. You can see the positions of the articulators down here, where it flies a lot of the helicopter for you, and you kind of just guide it. So that really helps out. Of course, very much needed in a helicopter that's made to do search and rescue. It needs to be stable and needs to be in a, be capable of being in a stable hover for longer periods of time. Alright, coming down to the hospital here. We'll clear the trees and the wires as usual. There we go. Keep your descent going steadily towards the helipad. And we're clear around to our left, so we'll do a pedal turn to the right here, placing our tail to the left. And we'll get the patient unloaded. You can see how stable this hover is, and how little input I need compared to something like the Schweitzer, where you need so much input to keep it stable. There we go, on the ground. Let's get the doors open, let's get this patient out of here. Alright, patient is out of here, let's get the doors closed. Your doors are coming closed, and we'll head out of here. No warnings or cautions, everything's looking good. We'll get going out to the right here. Tail is clear to the left. We have got so much power, no need to gain any airspeed before we get out of here. Get some airspeed now that we're close to the ground, and we'll start our descent, or our climb, so we don't annoy too many people on the way. We'll head back to the airfield. So when operating in areas where you don't know how much power you have, the place that you'd be looking for your power availability would be on this gauge down here, your torque gauge. You've got your torque on your mast, which don't want to exceed the red point, and you've got your engine torque. Now we have 2 engines, and when we have 2 engines, the engine torque is not really in any situation gonna go above the mast torque. But if you lose one engine and have to fly on one engine, that second engine is going to be a lot more stressed, meaning that you'll have to look out for the engine torque gauge a lot more to make sure that you don't over torque the one engine that you have left. The autopilot, you can do nav mode, you can do heading mode, you can even do ILS approaches, which is really cool. You can do the auto kind of hover feature, where you slap it into approach, and it uses the radar altimeter that it has down here to keep you in a stable hover, which is really useful when picking people up from the ocean where you have no reference points. And also if you want to operate the hoist yourself, you can slap the autopilot on and leave it there, and then you can switch view to the hoist operator and hoist the rescue guy down and pick the patient up. One thing to remember when using the autopilot is you need to have the SAS/ATT in the ATT position. Right now it's in the SAS position. The ATT position is just going to mean that you can no longer really manipulate much with the cyclic, and the autopilot can really do it. You can still, if you yank the cyclic a lot, you can still give inputs, but basically if you keep it pretty much in the center, it's not going to do anything. So it's kind of a way of making sure that you don't mess with the autopilot by accident. It also comes with the dolly pad that you saw me take off from, and where we'll land. You can place that down anywhere you really want dynamically through a menu in the plugin section, which is really cool. So you can really practice landing on small places, small areas, and you can do the missions where you fly in and out of the dolly pad as well, kind of just like a portable helipad. Now, if you want to do anything with the navigation autopilot, you want to make sure that you have your GPS down here. That needs to be in out of VLOC mode and be in the CPI position, and that way you can actually use what the GPS is telling you as the nav data to get your autopilot to fly to. Alright, so we're just coming down on the runway now, and we'll taxi off on taxiway Bravo, which is the first taxiway, and we'll head down to the dolly pad and park this helicopter there. Winds are pretty calm today, blue sky, always awesome. And we got the pickup truck as usual, driving up and down the runway. Off on taxiway Bravo, and we'll hover taxi over to the dolly pad. Alright, here we are, parked up, skids are where they should be. So looking clear on this side, so we'll get the helicopter shut down. Now if you guys have enjoyed this video, please let me know, leave a like, that's awesome, and let me know if you guys want to see more with this helicopter, see more of the features, see some of the missions that can be done with this, and also let me know if you want some tutorials on how to do something with this. I really recommend you getting it. It's a great helicopter, and it's fairly easy to fly, so what it has that some of the other helicopters doesn't have is really the systems. It has a lot of systems, a lot of functionality, and you can really do a lot of cool things with this helicopter. So I very much recommend getting it if you have the money and if you're interested. Alright, so that's basically it. So until the next video guys, take care.